If he examines them and goes into depth, he falls into wrong views like those that you have formulated above in rejecting the four conditions. Furthermore, if dharmas, as causes, depend on the four conditions, how are these four conditions caused in turn? If they themselves have causes, there is an infinite regression. Wherever there is an infinite regression, there is no beginning point. If there is no beginning, there is no cause, and hence all dharmas would be without cause. If there was a beginning, this beginning would be uncaused, and, existing without being caused, it would not depend on causes and conditions. That being so, all dharmas themselves would exist without depending on causes and conditions. Furthermore, dharmas arising from causes and conditions are of two kinds. A. If they pre-exist in the causes and conditions, they arise independently of causes and conditions, and there is neither cause nor condition for them. B. If they do not pre-exist in the causes and conditions, they are each without their respective causes and conditions. By futile chatter about the four conditions, one comes up against such errors. But the emptiness consisting of non-perception, of which it was a matter above in the prajnaparamita, does not present such faults. Thus, birth, old age, sickness and death perceived by the eyes and the ears of ordinary people are considered by them to be existent, but, if their characteristics are examined subtly, they are non-existent. This is why in the prajnaparamita, only the wrong views are eliminated, but the four conditions are not rejected. This is why it is said here that, in order to understand the real nature of the four conditions, the perfection of wisdom should be studied. Dharmata. Second section, understanding Dharmata and its synonyms. Sastra. 1. Tathata, Dharmadhatu and Buddhakati. 1. The Tathata, manner of being, of all dharmas is of two kinds. 1. The specific nature belonging to each dharma. 2. The Dharmata, true nature. The specific nature belonging to each dharma is, for example, the solidity of earth, the wetness of water, the warmth of fire, the mobility of wind. Such natures differentiate dharmas, each of which has its own nature. The Dharmata distinguishes and postulates, in these specific natures, an ungraspable, indestructible reality free of defects. See what has been said in regard to the emptiness of specific characteristics. Indeed, if earth is really solid, how can it be that glue, etc., when brought near the fire, loses this solidity which is its 7c intrinsic nature? How can it be that the man endowed with the super-knowledge of the working of magic sinks into the earth as if it were water? How does it happen that by cutting and breaking up wood or stone, they lose their solidity? And how can it be that by reducing earth into fine dust and hitting the latter with a stick, the earth finally disappears into the void and loses its nature of solidity? Examined in this way, the inherent nature of earth is non-existent. But that which is non-existent is truly empty. Therefore emptiness is the true nature of earth. And it is the same for all so-called specific natures. This emptiness is called Tathata. 2. The Dharmadhatu. As I have said above, dharmas taken individually are empty. These emptinesses have their own respective modalities which are, however, Tathata. Together they form a single emptiness, the Dharmadhatu. This Dharmadhatu itself is also of two kinds. The first, with a mind free of attachment, distinguishes dharmas as each having its own nature. The second is the immense Dharma. 1. E. The true nature of dharmas. By Sakyamti Brahma Pariprccha. As has been said in the Chisin King, the Dharmadhatu is immense. Single quote. The Srivakas attain the Dharmadhatu, but since their wisdom is limited, they cannot speak of its immensity. In the case of the Dharmadhatu, they are like the man who goes to the great ocean to empty out the water but who uses a vessel so small that he cannot collect the immense waters. 3. The Buddhakati. Because the Dharmadhatu is actually proven, it is the culmination of reality. Thus the saint is established in the culmination of reality. Single quote. 2. Synonymity of the three words. Question. Tathata, Dharmadhatu and Buddhakati. These three things are identical or different. If they are the same, why use three words? If they are three different things, it would be fitting to distinguish them now. Answer. The three words are synonyms serving to designate the Dharma. Why is that? Ignorant worldly people have wrong views of all the dharmas and speak of permanent, happy, pure, real and personal dharmas. The disciples of the Buddha consider things according to their principal characteristics. Then, not seeing any permanent dharmas, they speak of impermanence. Not seeing any happy dharmas, they speak about suffering. Not seeing any pure dharmas, they speak about impurity. Not seeing any real dharmas, they speak about emptiness, and not seeing any personal dharmas, they speak about non-self. But, while not seeing permanent dharmas, seeing impermanence is a wrong view. And it is the same for the views of suffering, emptiness, non-self and impurity. That is what is called Tadvata. The Tadvata is fundamentally indestructible. This is why, in the Chanda Sutra of the Samyuktagamma, the Buddha enunciated the three rules constituting the three seals of the Dharma, namely: 1. All conditioned dharmas are impermanent. 2. All dharmas are non-self. 3. Nirvana is peace. Single quote. Question. But these three seals of the Dharma are completely broken by the Prajnaparamita Sutra, where the Buddha says to Subhuti, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva who considers form to be permanent is not practicing the perfection of wisdom. The Bodhisattva Mahasattva who considers form to be impermanent is not practicing the perfection of wisdom. And it is the same if he considers it as happy or unhappy, self or non-self, peaceful or non-peaceful. That being so, why speak of the seals of the Dharma? Answer. The two sutras touched on here, namely, the Chanda Sutra and the Prajnaparamita Sutra, are both the word of the Buddha, but it is in the Prajnaparamita Sutra that the Buddha spoke most clearly about the true nature of dharmas. 8a. There are people who, being attached to the error of permanence, reject this eternalist view but are not, however, attached to impermanence. This is the true seal of the Dharma. The fact of rejecting eternalism and in turn adopting impermanence should not be considered as a seal of the Dharma. It is the same in regard to the view of self and the other views up to that of peace. In the Prajnaparamita, the Buddha condemns attachment to the wrong views of impermanence, etc., but does not condemn the fact of accepting nothing, of adopting nothing. Having acquired this Tadvata of dharmas, one penetrates into the Dharmadhatu, one eliminates all opinions and does not conceive any further beliefs, for such is its essence.